Susanna, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fine, please. The
Great.
floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Heikki. It's nice to be here, even though I'm online, but still it's really good to be here today to present our project called MAREA. And I'm going to give you a short overview of our activities, what we are going to do. It's a collaboration project. Finnish Environment Institute is the lead partner, and then we have Pellervo Economic Research, Baltic Environmental Forum, and University of Tartu as the collaborators. And we are being funded by Interreg Central Baltic from the EU. And MAREA comes from Marine Ecosystem Accounting to Integrated Governance for Sustainable Planning of Marine and Coastal Areas. And we have been running the project for one year now, and we have still one year left. So very exciting days to still come. And now today I'm going to talk a little bit about our ecosystem services approach and also the other activities in the project. So the idea for the project came from the challenge that we have been facing for decades now, that we are really having difficulties to achieve sustainable use of our natural resources. And there have been a lot of initiatives to tackle this problem. One of the maybe quite holistic frameworks has been called ecosystem approach. And the basic idea here behind the framework is to take holistic point of view of ecosystems and its resources and the society using those resources. And the Convention of Biological Diversity defines the ecosystem approach as a strategy for integrated management of land, water, and living resources that promotes conservation and sustainable use in an equitable way. So great opportunities would come from the ecosystem approach, but of course it requires a lot of information. And as researchers, it's our responsibility partly to produce that information for that ecosystem approach. And some of the information that is needed is listed here. For example, we need to know about the ecosystem state. We need to know about the supply and use of ecosystem services, and then, of course, about the links from human activities and their pressures to ecosystem and its services. And of course, then we need to integrate all of this together. So in MAREA, we are taking some aims towards this approach. Our first aim being developing the ecosystem service mapping and modeling. And now when we are talking about ecosystem services, we are talking about all the benefits and goods that come from the nature or the natural resources to us, to human societies. So we can talk about, for example, food, or we can talk about carbon binding and sequestration that benefits then our climate initiatives. So also marine ecosystems produce these benefits. And here's a famous picture from Pochin and Heines-Young, who have in their cascade model tried to define a little bit how the ecosystem services are flowing from the ecosystems. And you can see that on the left side, there have been listed biophysical structures and processes and ecosystem functions. And those are the ones that we as natural scientists can actually try to model and try to produce with our data and tools. And then when you follow the cascade, then those biophysical structures and functions lead to final services that are the actual ecosystem services that we can try to measure. And then finally, we can include more social scientists and economists, and we can try to define the benefits that are actually coming from the services and then value them monetarily or in some other ways. And of course, we are in a good position because we are having a nice collaboration. We have a lot of data already existing, a lot of knowledge behind us. So we have, of course, used many of the previously run projects in all of these 3 countries. So, for example, we have had MAREA 1 project that has defined different habitats and species and their links to different ecosystem services. So this was a literature-based study and expert knowledge-based study about the general overview of the ecosystem services. Then we, of course, have a lot of different biophysical data. Here are only just few examples. We have the marine inventory, underwater inventory program that's available, that has been running in Finland for many years. We have a lot of biological data coming from the project. And of course, then we also have a lot of data coming from Estonian and Latvian side. And here's just a picture of some data points from Estonian side. I printed this figure from Planwise for Blue tool. So it was, if I remember correctly, it was about focus places where they have found focus. So a lot of data, but of course we need some additional data for things to come and go smoothly. So we have planned a survey that is targeted to coastal visitors. This has been running the survey during the summer in Estonia and Latvia, and it's mostly about the recreational activities along the coastal areas. Then we are planning to use some social media platforms and analyze the picture contents and places that are listed there. This is a bit still under investigation. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if we are finally able to do this, but now we are exploring the possibility to a little bit add to our other modeling activities. And another example from satellite images, some common read data that we can use also for modeling. Here's just a list of modeled services that we are aiming to model in our pilot areas of Gulf of Finland and Gulf of Riga. Some regulating services such as blue carbon, so the carbon sequestration and storage, some ferromanganese concretions, then provisioning services such as common reed harvesting and focus compounds or focus, some compounds that can be used for example, some pharmaceuticals coming from focus. And then cultural services, recreational opportunities and aesthetic services. But not only this, we are also looking at some human impacts that are possibly affecting the services. This methodology is based on the paper published by Kotta et al. So we are also combining of the human pressures and then looking at how they are affecting the ecosystem, but then also possibly the ecosystem services and values that are coming from the services. Okay, our second aim then, it's a little bit different. We are also looking at a little bit about the benefit and monetary side of ecosystem services. So we are developing the concepts of ecosystem accounting framework in the Baltic Sea environment. And here our aim is to test the natural capital accounting concept in the pilot areas, so in Gulf of Finland and Gulf of Riga, and link the maps of ecosystem services that I just talked about, the modeled ecosystem services, to already existing data sources of relevant economic sectors. And here's just a figure from the system of environmental economic accounting developed in UN, and also it's being adopted around the world, for example, in EU. And the basic idea here is to try to include the natural resources to systems of national accounts, so that we would know how our natural resources are doing. And here's the accounts that are included in these accounting frameworks. So ecosystem extent account, ecosystem condition account, the ecosystem service supply account, and then the monetary account. And as you can see that we are trying to contribute also to this framework. At least we are exploring the ways that we can contribute here. So we are trying to value some of the services such as common read, use, then blue carbon again, and cultural services. And we are also preparing a survey about the valuing the cultural services in all 3 countries. And here's an example of the trade-off analysis that we aim to do. So if we think about the common read and its extent, there are many ways that we can use common read. There are a lot of different benefits coming from it. For example, cutting of it for building material, or then we might have some cultural benefits, and then of course some habitat benefits as well. And these all uses may have some trade-offs when we start using them. So it's a balancing exercise as well, like what should we do? Then our third aim is maybe taking a little bit even more holistic way. So we are creating a sustainability compass about the sustainable development goals. This is a list. This is an indicator-based tool. So we are developing a list of indicators that could be used by different marine sectors that are interested in benefiting from the marine resources. And the aim here is to provide them a tool. So this targets the marine sectors such as wind farms and aquaculture. And the indicators are collected to represent the human well-being, economy, and ecosystem state. And this will be a web tool that can be easily used. And it will provide not only the natural indicators, but also the indicators from these other aspects. And this is mainly developed by the Pellervo Economic Research, and it will be very interesting to see how the tool will then be used by possibly the different sectors. So a lot of things going on at the moment. Our fourth and final aim is to build a decision support geoportal where we aim to put all our results that we have produced in our project. And this is actually already existing portal, Plan-wise for Blue portal, where MAREA project is then contributing. We are particularly concentrating on the ecosystem services modeling, and we are adding layers to that tool and making it a little bit more complex and allowing the user to make more analysis with the already existing data and the new data layers. So if you're interested in the tool, you may go and see how the tool works already. The address can be seen there. So thanks a lot for listening. If you want to hear something more, you are free to send me an email or follow us on Twitter or visit our nice website on marea.balticseaportal.net. So everything can be seen there. And of course, now I didn't present any final results yet, so also the results then can be found in our website when we have something already there. So thanks a lot for listening.
Thank you very much, Susanna. Applause.